Today we are going to do a recap of the classroom for heroes, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Episode 1. In the midst of their final showdown, the Demon Lord taunts the hero, warning that the fate of the world hangs in the balance of his success. With only a small rock in hand, the hero clings to his last hope. The Demon Lord hurls an immense boulder with all his might, and in a daring move, the hero employs the humble pebble to shatter the oncoming threat. Frustrated with the prolonged battle, the hero yearns for a conclusive end. Responding to his resolve, the Demon Lord agrees, and they lock eyes, swords drawn, channeling their ultimate powers. A fierce clash ensues, their strengths depleting until the hero's hair turns shockingly pale white. Fueled by determination, they inch forward, their blades piercing each other. Collapsing together, a sense of relief washes over the hero as the ordeal concludes. Fast forwarding to the future, we catch a glimpse of a joyful young boy eagerly embarking on a new school journey. Amidst the bustling school environment, Blade, the renowned hero who once defeated the Demon King, revels in the simplicity of students exchanging greetings. Eager to embrace a normal life, he joyfully introduces himself to his fellow students, Kasim, Clay, Jessica, and Claire. Inspired by his newfound friends, Blade sets an ambitious goal of befriending 100 individuals. However, Claire suggests he befriend the entire student body to achieve his aim. Just as he immerses himself in the prospect, a girl interjects, reminding them all of the school's mission to mold heroes and maintain order. Among the group, Honors, known as the Empress, emerges as the school's strongest student. In contrast, Blade introduces himself cheerfully. Honors questions his presence, but Blade's admission of prioritizing friendship over heroism irks her. Their clash catches the attention of the principal, who is, in fact, the king incognito. Blade treats the king casually, vexing Honors. As Honors appeals for leniency, the king reveals his true identity, explaining Blade's lost powers post-battle with the Demon Lord. The king's aim is for Blade to regain his hero abilities, marking a new journey for the once heroic Blade. Despite Blade's longing for an ordinary life, the king dismisses it, deeming the school a rehabilitation center for Blade. The king announces plans to reshape the curriculum, aspiring to replicate Blade's heroism. Blade contests the idea due to the Demon King's defeat, but the king believes in restoring his powers. Returning to class, Blade tries connecting with Honors, leading to his unexpected placement in the S class. Honors suspects foul play, and Blade asserts his intent to make friends. He embarks on this quest by introducing himself to everyone, sparking Honors' annoyance. Playful interaction with her follows, but their camaraderie is interrupted by another student, Sophie, who ignores Blade. Honors intervenes, and Blade's introduction to Sophie resumes until Honors calls the instructor, signaling a change in the situation. Honors proposes a test of Blade's ability, which is met with resistance from the teacher. Intimidatingly, she presents an enchanted armor challenge for S-class students. The Blade must slice through it to stay or leave the academy. Honors highlights the S-class's superiority, piquing Blade's interest. Using his dragon skill, Blade obliterates the armor, surprising everyone. Afterward, during lunch, Blade joins Honors despite others declining. A mix-up occurs about her reserved table, leading to a conversation where Honors reveals her isolation due to fear. Blade enjoys his meal, and their interaction helps him appreciate friendship. Honors unexpectedly accepts his friendship, later reflecting happily on her new connection. In her room, her sword trembles, hinting at something unforeseen. Having celebrated her first friendship, Honors' joy is interrupted as her sword trembles, evoking a haunting past. From a young age, she felt drawn to the sword, succumbing to its dark whispers that transformed her. The sword's urge to destroy clashes with her duty as her family's future leader. Suppressing it, she commits to growing stronger. During practice, she's vexed by an opponent who underestimates her, only to trigger her aggressive tendencies. Despite her efforts, the sword's influence nearly overpowers her, revealing a dangerous side. Honors halts her swing and challenges her next opponent, Sophie. Their battle sees Sophie blocking and pushing Honors back until she deploys a fire skill for victory. Summoning Blade, Honest collapses, prompting his swift assistance. Blade learns from the doctor that it's connected to a curse. After Honest awakens, Blade explains the situation. Investigating, Blade finds Honest's sword is the demon sword Modius. He confronts her, revealing its nature. Blade proposes a solution. The sword must recognize her as its owner. Honest initiates a pact ritual and, with Blade's support, confronts the demon within, gaining control. Honest adopts a more positive demeanor, greeting others with a smile, all thanks to Blade, her first friend. That brings the episode to an end. Episode 2. As the story unfolds, Blade practices against two students while artfully avoiding their attacks. Honest intervenes, urging him to engage more respectfully. Their banter takes a flirtatious turn, with Leonard emphasizing the importance of noticing changes in appearance. Honest sinks into momentary despondency over Blade's lack of awareness, but quickly refocuses. She instructs Blade to monitor Sophie, who typically practices alone. Blade questions Honest about Sophie's behavior, and Honest reveals that while Sophie obediently follows orders, she rarely acts on her own desires except when interacting with Blade. Honest tasks Blade with overseeing Sophie's training, leading him to introduce himself to Sophie and explain Honest's request, to which Sophie questions if it's a command. Blade is puzzled by Sophie's request, but agrees to help. Sophie explains her reliance on fists due to her training. Blade offers to teach her other techniques. Sophie's smile signals her interest. In a later training, Blade teaches Sophie sword techniques, helping her cut through armor by channeling her fighting spirit, treating the sword as an extension of herself. Blade guides Sophie to channel her fighting spirit into the sword, allowing her to cut through armor easily, encouraging her progress. He concludes the training. Sophie playfully asks if she'll reach Honest's level, to which Blade responds that it's a challenge. Unexpectedly, she demonstrates her strength by immobilizing Blade and discussing strategy. Blade promises to teach her something new the next day but needs to visit the principal, the king. In their talk, Blade mentions making friends, leading to a discussion about Sophie. The king, anticipating Blade's interest, acknowledges Sophie's strength while highlighting her need for growth. Blade's confusion leads the king to reveal Sophie's purpose to surpass him as an artificially created great hero. The king discloses an organization's creation of artificial heroes using forbidden knowledge, with Sophie being the 12th clone of the project. Blade's shock intensifies as he learns of her identity as Sophisha Femto. The king clarifies his non-involvement and reveals that he is dismantling the organization, calming Blade's anger. The king recounts how he met Sophie and offered her freedom, noting her persistent habit of questioning whether his actions were commands. Blaming himself for Sophie's lost normal life, Blade is determined to help her recover it. However, he's unsure what normal means. Seeking advice, he questions his medic friend, Leonard, colleagues, and artists about youth and love. Despite misunderstandings, he learns that youth involves love and dating. The artist shyly explains the concept of couples spending time together. Blade, frustrated yet determined, declares he will go on a date. Honest seeks the girl, catching her attention, while Blade mistakenly enters the girl's bathroom. Blade musters the courage to ask Sophie on a date. With her agreeing, the girls, including Honest, decide to spy on them. Their outing, involving ice cream, city exploration, and arcade games, leaves Honest and friends feeling jealous and inadvertently destroying a blood machine. In a moment of increased intimacy, Blade and Sophie share a romantic gesture by sipping from the same fruit using straws. While trying to get closer, Blade suddenly pulls away, baffling Sophie. She clarifies that they should complete the action together, and Blade, although comprehending, feels his heart racing. Overcoming their initial awkwardness, they manage to accomplish the task. Unbeknownst to them, the artist and the girls are observing nearby. Continuing their date, Blade senses a follower but disregards it. Their journey leads them to a fountain, where Sophie reveals she enjoyed the day and queries Blade's motive for the date. He evades complete honesty, stating their friendship. However, Sophie questions their bond due to hidden truths. This prompts her to disclose her past as an incomplete test subject, demonstrating her uncontrolled powers. In return, Blade unveils his history as the great hero who lost his powers. They share their vulnerabilities, and Sophie comforts Blade. She recounts the impact of his heroics on countless lives. Finding solidarity in their experiences, they choose to move forward, pledging to keep each other's secrets and leaving the episode on a note of mutual understanding and connection. And that brings the episode to an end. Episode 3. During lunch, Blade and his classmates are joined by their new friends, discussing outfit choices due to the S-Class promotion. Honus informs Blade of the king's plan to bring a magical beast for training improvement. As the ground shakes, panic ensues, and Sophie suggests taking everyone to safety. Blade rushes ahead, still holding his plate, and they encounter a dragon. As Blade questions the creature's identity, it cautiously approaches him. Sophie stops Honus from attacking. Blade leaps, delivering a punch that subdues the dragon. He attributes it to the dragon's young age and fear. Attempting to feed it, Blade realizes the dragon can't handle spicy food. The students are astonished by his ability. Blade downplays it, labeling the dragon as a mere baby. However, when the dragon starts glowing, Honus points out a little girl behind Blade, who calls him father. Blade clarifies and promises to help find her parents. He turns to an artist, inquiring about the dragon's whereabouts. Blade initially disputes the dragon girl transformation as impossible. Despite his attempts to convince her otherwise, the girl insists he's her father. The artist explains the shape-shifting dragon concept, with Sophie's confirmation eventually convincing Blade. She compliments his punch and clings to him, desiring to play. To prevent any outbursts, Blade agrees to look after her, even during bards. He names her Ku after a knight who upheld promises. The artist reveals magical beasts' tendencies and how they can transform upon defeat, a rare event requiring human victory over a dragon. Blade ponders if the Ku was defeated by a human in her past life. Honus notices Blade's choice to name the dragon, and the Ku expresses approval. She later kicks Blade for showering with the Ku, labeling him a pervert. The next day, Honus remains irritated by the COO's closeness to Blade. The Ku asks Blade to feed her, claiming it tastes better. Claire's attempt is met with aggression, and the Ku insists Blade give her a morning kiss and let her sit on his lap during meals. Amid the ensuing turmoil, Blade's interactions with mature females stir controversy. Confronted, he's isolated during training. The Ku joins him and displays power. A new student, Jessica, seeks a mentor, and Blade recommends Sophie. He later cheers up Ku with curry. Blade interacts tenderly with the Ku, prompting discussions with Honus about dragon behavior. Blade's commitment to caring for the Ku becomes clear. The Ku rejects friendships, believing dragons are solitary. Finding solace in the moon, she emphasizes needing Blade as her parent. Despite attempts with the king, the Ku flees in fear, frustrating Blade. Frustrated by the king's actions, Blade returns to his room and hears the Ku playing with toys, acting out scenarios that mirror their interactions with his friends. The COO's imitation highlights Blade seeking friendship on her behalf. As she mentions the names of unfamiliar students, Blade realizes she wants friends. He's surprised to recognize that she's imitated the interactions they had with those students. He acknowledges the COO's efforts to make 108 friends, realizing her unspoken desire for companionship. Honus joins him, and Blade vents his frustration through self-inflicted headbanging. He explains that dragons consider weaker beings unequal, requiring a defeat in combat for friendship. Honus encourages Blade to seek support from others, and together they rally students from various classes to assist in a friendly fight against the Ku. Begging on their knees, they plead for the Ku to find friends. The next day, the Ku arrives in her dragon form to battle, with everyone watching. As the Ku breathes fire, the fight begins, with the king observing and Blade supporting her, bringing the episode to a close. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more recaps like this, consider subscribing to our channel.